Hello and welcome to this, our first Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust video/podcast. I suppose I should start by telling you a bit about us. We're an independent organisation run by fans for fans. We were established in 2001 when the Trust movement first formed. Our longest serving board member joined us in 2013. And we're just the latest incarnation of Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust. And it's possible for people to join the board and make a difference with elections held each February. This is an inclusive movement, not exclusive. We see ourselves as a voice for members. We have a formal relationship with the club, and our board has regular meetings with the Spurs board. But in reality, we work with many departments at the club on a day-to-day basis, where decisions that directly affect fans are made. Where we agree with them, we'll publicly praise them. Where we don't think the interests of supporters have been best addressed, we're not afraid to say so, and loudly. Shall I hand over to you, Rachel, to tell us a bit more?
Yeah, thank you. We aim to ensure that the fan perspective is at the heart of everything the club does and every decision it makes. And we believe that there should be supporter input at board level. We believe that fans like you and us should have a say in how our club is run. It's also important, because of that, to have a mobilised, engaged, informed supporter movement. And we work with Spurs supporter groups across the country, around the world. And we also work with the official Football Supporter Association, the FSA, and Football Supporters Europe. We believe that there are many issues that are Spurs related, but there are also lots that are only achieved through working together. So, for example, you might remember that there was ridiculously expensive away tickets for supporters, going up to £60 for the standard ticket. And it was only by us all working together that we got that price down with our 20 is Plenty campaign. That was working together. We're currently working, obviously, on things like the pay-per-view prices. Again, you have to all be together on that. And on the safe return of fans to stadia. So again, it's about being informed, working together and communicating with our supporters. Anthoulla?
Thanks, Rachel. That was great. Also, we deal with club-specific issues such as home ticketing prices as well, and surrounding things like the ballot that's going on at the moment with COVID. One other important thing for us to mention is that we are run voluntarily on a day-to-day basis. We're an elected board of supporters. There's currently 10 people on our board, and we are not paid for what we do at all. We also don't receive any gifts, any merchandise, any tickets from the club or from anywhere else. It's against our constitution. We have a website for more information if you want to go to that. So that's www.THSTofficial.com. We also have a Twitter account you can look up, and we're also on Facebook, so make sure to check those out if you don't. We're also really, really approachable people, so you can always come up to us when we do eventually get back to the stadiums, talk to us about any issues you have, or any queries that you may have. We've also got a forum that if you did join us, you would get access to. We also have our monthly newsletters that we put out through email. We also have yearly members meetings as well. So I'll pass you on to Rob to tell you a little bit more as well.
Thanks, thanks, Anthoulla. That's great. Yeah, I'm the newest member of the board, having joined in February actually. So we hope that if you aren't already a member, you'll seriously consider becoming a member. As the bigger our membership, the more weight that we carry in discussions with the club and with outside organisations. There's a link on our website for anyone interested in becoming a member. You can become an adult associate member, which is free, or join us as a full member, which is £10 for a year. A junior full membership is free, and a senior concession membership is £5. Martin, back to you.
Great, thanks, Rob. This first episode really for us is more of an introductory episode. So we're just telling you a bit about what we do, and I suppose we should tell you a bit about us as well, who we are. My name's Martin Buhagiar. I've been a Spurs fan my entire life. I know you'll be surprised to hear that. My first game was in 1981 when my dad took me to Spurs Manchester United on my 5th birthday. where Spurs won 3-1. I don't remember anything about it. All I remember is seeing a man by the name of Glenn Hoddle. And from that moment onwards, I was hooked. That was enough for me. I then carried on going. I became a season ticket holder in the inglorious 90s. Any fan that takes a season ticket while Christian Gross is a manager, I think has to be seen as a very loyal supporter, which I am. I now go with my 3 boys. So I've got 3 sons. We all go to the matches. Newest member is 8 years old. We go with my father-in-law as well. And I became a member of the Supporters Trust when I started to care more about ticket prices and concessions, and then got to know more about the trust and stood for election. And I think one of the things I was keen to find out more was about concessions, family, the family stand, the family areas where kids could sit as I started to bring children to the stadiums, and also fixture changes, the times that fixtures when the kickoff times were changed at very short notice. So I stood for election and 4 years ago, and here I am. So I suppose we should all go around and give a little introduction of who we are. So back to you, Rachel.
Yeah, my name's Rachel Martin. My career has been as a head teacher. So obviously I'm passionate about education. I've recently retired. I'm sure you'll find that impossible to believe. Thank you for the laughter.
Early retirement, Rach.
I've supported Spurs all my life, obviously. And again, yes, it's the link with my father, and sort of lots of my happiest memories of watching matches with him. So one of my first was actually watching England win the World Cup. And then the following year, watching us win the FA Cup against Chelsea. So I had this sort of idea that watching football with my father meant that we won everything. Obviously, that's been sort of shattered over the years, but I've had amazing times traveling home and away. And now one of the happiest days of my life actually was when my daughter got it. And she also is a season ticket holder. And my granddaughter, who is just over a year old, is also a Spurs supporter. She just doesn't quite know it yet. I've been obsessed with Tottenham all my life. It's always been the thing that affects my mood. It just gives me the greatest highs. And I wanted to join the trust really because I just wanted to get closer to the club and to other Spurs supporters. And then when I stood for the board, really just because I wanted to make things better wherever I could for other Spurs supporters. And it was things like ticket prices, like with Martin. I think the way supporters are treated sometimes is terrible. We're treated very differently from rugby fans, for example. I'm a great advocate for the return of safe standing, and I just think it's a good way of being able to channel all that passion and energy. Anthoulla.
Hi guys, so my name's Anthoulla. I work for the NHS. I'm also a medical student at the moment, so fitting this in weekly or as whatever is quite difficult, but I get it done. And the reason why I joined was because I was quite heavily active on Twitter talking about ticket pricing, and I got quite close to Kat, and Kat said, well, why don't you see what we do? Why don't you see what and join us? So I joined. I got to see what the trust do, and I actually thought, I want to actually make a difference and sort of join and get involved with the discussions that happen with the club and the decisions that affect the fans directly, because like Rachel said, I think that football fans do get treated badly sometimes. So I think it is an important thing for us to be doing to try and make that difference and get our voices heard, to be honest. I've also been a Spurs fan all my life. Not as long as the rest of these guys, but still as long as I can remember anyway. My dad got brought up like right around the corner from White Hart Lane. My grandma still lives there, so it's pretty much like part of our family. We all Spurs fans, not my mum's side, but my dad's side anyway. That's me.
Thanks for that, Anthoulla. I'm Rob, as I said earlier. I've got no choice in being a Spurs fan. Sadly, it's in the family. My dad played for Spurs, and my grandfather was Bill Nicholson's assistant manager. So really no option. I started going in fact, it all clicks into place because I really started going, the earliest I can remember was the season that we got relegated to Division 2. And I should have really taken some sort of heed then, really. But as I said, it was in me, really. And I've been sort of going ever since, really. Got a season ticket in the Park Lane South Stand. Was sort of so I've been a member of the trust for probably about 3 or 4 years, and I suddenly decided that I'd had enough of internally criticising what the trust was doing, I guess, and actually wanted to know more about why it was doing what it was doing, how our relationship was with the club. I'm very much the sort of person that I think if you want to know how the machine works, then you have to get inside the machine and try and work it out. And there's too many people that are happy to sit on the touchline and shout and criticise, and I just wanted to see exactly what a difference we could make. Tottenham's a very personal thing to me, as I've just described. So how that affects how the club is run is also very personal to me. And I also realise the limitations we have as supporters, but I think you can sit as long as you like and say you've got limitations, but if you don't get involved, then you've got no right to criticise and you've got no right to complain. So for me, it was a way of trying to work out as a supporter how I could get some sort of voice, basically. And the last part of it for me, it's passionate because I live very locally. I can see that the new stand from my back garden if I stand on my tiptoes. So yeah, that's it really. And I just want to, I want to say that anybody that's thinking about getting involved should get involved, because that's the only way we can make a difference. Back to you, Martin.
Absolutely, thank you, Rob. Thanks for that. And it's a really good message, isn't it? That we're always open to more members. We'd love you to come on this journey with us and to become a member, and we'll give you more information about that as we go on. But I suppose to the viewer, people just tuning in, they might be wondering why now? Why have we chosen to set that up? And you can talk us through that, can't you?
Yeah, so I think it is important to let them know why we're doing this. So we thought this would be a good way to sort of shed light on the work that we do, because we know that our newsletters go out monthly, but maybe there's quite a lot of information there for people to digest. So we thought this would be a good way to sort of break those up into sizable chunks for people, and also to allow us to sort of delve into the issues further. So what we'll be doing is we'll be having a series of these with various members of our board. They can come on and talk you through the work that they do in more detail and keep you up to date with the latest developments. So this isn't like any sort of fan podcast. We're not going to be discussing how the players play week by week. This will be very much the finer details behind the scenes of the issues that affect fans directly. So, yeah.
Brilliant, thank you, Anne. We might find time to celebrate beating Arsenal just from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll see how we go. But look, guys, I mean that's it really for this first video stroke podcast. And I promise I'll stop doing that. It's just a habit to say /podcast in the middle of it. It's quite nice. Feels quite amusing because it's our first one, and we're really excited to be embarking on this. And we hope you guys will get a lot out of it. But as we continue, as I said earlier, we'd love to hear your thoughts, your views, your questions. So please feel free to email any suggestions to info@THSTofficial or one word.com. We're used to compliments, but we're also used to people being rude. So feel free to tell us what you really think, and we'll try not to take offence. But this first episode is merely an introductory offering. So, and as Anth touched on just now, we'll regularly bring you the latest news and information from Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust board members via this forum, and that should be of huge interest to any Tottenham fan, because we deal with elements that really affect every football fan, every match-going fan, every fan watching on television, every fan across the world. So we hope you'll join us with each episode, and that you'll play a part in that. So all that's left for us to do is say thanks very much for tuning in. Please keep an eye for our second episode. That will be available very shortly. During that, we'll be having a chat with fellow board member Kevin Fitzgerald. He was the only Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust board member who was successful with his application for tickets to last weekend's North London derby. Now, if you're on Twitter, you may have heard different, but we can tell you only one of us got a ticket. So there you go. But it will be, we're all really excited to hear what he thought of the atmosphere, what he thought about the mechanism of getting in. So hopefully you'll join us, and we'll see you all then. Take care, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.